Chapter 1. Introduction: The Search for Truth. Recognizing and honoring truth is far more important than abiding by traditions and customs. If one system has more evidence of truth and righteousness than another, then certainly we ought to condone it, rather than condemn it. Our American Christian marriage system has taught us that monogamy is right and polygamy is wrong. But as James Campbell said, these prejudices are neither natural nor inveterate, but that they have been induced by the corrupted Christianity of the medieval priesthood, and that they will be removed when Christian people become better informed. History and Philosophy of Marriage, Campbell, pages 23 to 24. The Latter-day Saints, more than anyone else on earth, should study and understand the nature, history, and truth pertaining to the laws of monogamy and polygamy. For them it can mean exaltation or damnation, because marriage is a law of the holy priesthood and a major factor in our religion. Plural marriage has been practiced in China, India, Middle East, Arabia, Africa, Indonesia, Australia, portions of Europe, among the Indians and Eskimos, as well as in the United States. In fact, it has been stated that people in 80% of all 853 cultures have at some time practiced plural marriage. See Ethnology, Murdoch and White, pages 329 to 369. They could see real and practical advantages to such a lifestyle, as the following excerpt illustrates. In societies that have a long tradition of polygyny, one man having two or more wives, women appear to welcome co-wives. A co-wife not only affords companionship and shares the labor, but her presence indicates that the family is sufficiently wealthy to have this luxury. Indeed, a principal function of polygyny is to increase the wealth of the family, and thereby its social importance. Moreover, where labor is scarce, co-wives may increase the wealth of the family. For example, among the Blackfoot Indians, polygyny increased with the transition of fur trading from beaver to buffalo. Tanning the buffalo skins was the exclusive labor of women, and the more wives a man had, the greater his financial potential. Polygyny also absorbs an excess of marriageable women, particularly in instances where wars have decimated the male population. In addition, it allows older men to marry youthful and attractive younger women. In ancient times, polygyny was practiced in Egypt, among the Hebrews, in Arabia, and in Ireland, as it was, until modern times, in China and Japan, in the form of concubinage. In the societies of Abyssinia, plural marriages were legal, but were common only among the most affluent. Encyclopedia Americana, 1995 ed. 22 365. Whether we base our investigation on the laws of God, which is the purest form of truth, or on the laws of nature, these two sources alone should be proof enough to convince us of what is closest to the truth. On the other hand, traditions and customs are the worst sources of truth, even though they are the most popular. Both the laws of God and laws of nature often differ materially from civil, social, and federal laws. The former are consistent and infallible, the latter are often conflicting, confusing, altered, amended, or repealed. This is nowhere more noticeable than regarding the laws pertaining to marriage. Here in the Western world we have inherited the monogamous marriage system with very little study into its origins, practice, or disadvantages. We know even less about polygamy, most information coming from a few Bible stories, and a little from the Eastern nations, and most of that is received with prejudice and contempt. In the spirit of fair play, both sides of history should be studied with an unbiased and inquiring mind, with the object of learning truth. Matrimony, and the civil and moral laws pertaining to it, have historically been complex and varied. There are also many forms of marriage lifestyles, such as monogamy, celibacy, polygamy, polygyny, bigamy, polyandry, common law, concubinage, and more recently same-sex. Numerous moral deviations exist as to the union of the sexes, such as fornication, adultery, prostitution, homosexuality, sodomy, etc. Because there are so many marriage and sexual variations, it is important for us to learn how God views marriage and the proper matrimonial relationships between man and woman. So let's start at the beginning.